No turnovers, puts some air under it here on a comebacker. Ty Felton, and there's the flag. And interestingly, it doesn't come from the line judge. It comes in this game. Here's John Hussey.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both by the same team. Illegal contact, defense number 38. That penalty is declined. Pass interference, defense number 38. That ball we placed at spot of the foul.
The third rounder is blazing speed with the out and up, and you can see Jalen Simpson there. Once he falls, really the first time playing corner in a game, matched up with elite speed, and he makes the pass interference.
So it turns out to be a 32-yard penalty. Brosmer under center, gives it to Chandler. By the way, Justin Jefferson at Minnesota sideline, hoping that his day is not done just yet.
I'm a little surprised. I thought once he got the 1,000 was just as important.
But could be a free play here. Brosmer's pass, boy, incomplete. Felton, boy, was thinking about that maneuver before he had a chance to squeeze it.
Offside. Defense number 53. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Photographer. One of the funniest things I've seen.
Yeah, personality plus. Very well-rounded. And a lot of fun to watch, and just one of the great players in this league.
What a talent.
I didn't think you watched you.
Xavier Scott is the lone setback. Here he is on the take. Colts practice squad guy a couple of years ago. And we're told Xavier Scott's wife, by the way, is a race car driver. I thought Jen was into some crazy sports, but that's saying something.
She's a fairly decent backseat, I would say. That,
I think she's better than that.
Yeah.
So 3rd and 1. Matt LaFleur's had much success on 3rd down so far. Brosmer rolling out, completes to Scott. And it's going to be 1st and goal, Vikings. Nicely done by Brosmer. They pick up
himself a touchdown. You know, the touchdown production isn't where it's been for Jefferson this year.
Yeah, career low touchdown catches, just 2 on the season. It would be a nice little capper to what has been a disappointing in the Big Ten. We will be watching next weekend. J.J. McCarthy, if you've just hopped on with us, that right hand injury rearing its ugly head again. His return officially questionable. Can't imagine we'll see. 1st and goal. Brosmer from the 5. Boy, gets tripped up.
Uh-oh.
Did the officials whistle the play dead? No signal yet. The Vikings have it with Sorrell.
Looked like he reverted back to college and thought when he was down.
Yeah, it was Justin Schoolarch who he got his feet tangled up with. Didn't look like a defensive player touched him. So that's a live football, and the recovery by Brenton Cox. He's an offensive highlight reel as the call on the field has been confirmed. It is a fumble. Brosmer was never touched. Cox jarring it loose, and Jeff Hafley quite pleased.
Yeah, I can't quite remember a play like that happening before.
There was some bloopers right there. Blake Sarge. You know, in this kind of defense, you not only need talented guys, you need smart players, high IQ guys. You talk about Cashman, Van Ginkel, certainly Harrison Smith. So much uniqueness with what they have on that side of the ball.
Yeah, really impressed by Blake Cashman in the way he's played.
But the pieces can sometimes move in ways that they're not assigned to move. And so when I talked to Andrew Van Ginkel about that, he said that only works because of the way that Brian Flores teaches. He said he's so detailed. He doesn't think many coaches teach that way.
Well, he's right about that.
It is as unique a defensive system as there is, certainly the NFL. Emmanuel Wilson out of the backfield, and he's going to get brought down at the 20, so they're well.
And all this great stuff that you can draw up, but what a lot of them don't understand is that, you know, those pieces move when you're actually on the field, and not many coaches, few if any, that I think that Brian Flores brings to the defense.
Busy day for Wheeling continues. Another towering punt. Ja'Shawn Jones hasn't had an opportunity to return many of them with that incredible hang time. To go by 2 sisters, now 4 locations all around the Twin Cities. As this Minnesota offense comes back onto the field, Matt LaFleur and his Packers down 13-0. Max Brosmeron in relief, injury relief of J.J. McCarthy, right hand injury, as he has aggravated that injury that held him out last week.
You know, if I really had to choose, I'd want to see the Chicago Bears.
They split the two regular season meetings with Chicago. Is looks like it is Bullard. And so try to get an update from Aditi here as the rest of this fourth quarter continues. 9 and change. Mason slips the initial tackle. Mason opens space into the second level. And Jordan Mason, one of the big decisions that they're going to have to make here in the offseason.
Yeah, certainly, Aaron Jones had just, a spectacular year last year, and just because of the injuries. But, Jordan Mason really has done some really good things for
that starting job. Certainly Brian Flores in his future. And this is a franchise that is projected to be almost $30 million over the salary cap. And so that is going to take some strategic and creative planning by Adolfo Mensa and his staff in the offseason. Oh, what a catch by Ham. A one-handed snatch.
I'd be surprised if he's not one of the new head coaches in the NFL next year. And if Brian Flores leaves, that leaves a massive hole for whoever has to lead this defense next year if it's not Brian Flores.
Yeah, the Vikings have already lost one defense. He potentially try to bring Flores to Vegas. Who knows what that means for Pete Carroll. The speculation, rumors already running rampant. As Chandler finds a crease, breaks that first tackle, gets downhill. And that's
too good of a football mind, not just a defensive, game plan master, but his feel for personnel and just how to build a consistent winner. I think he's learned a lot, and I can't wait to see him as a head coach somewhere.
And I thought you had an interest.
That could be in my future.
Yeah, I thought he was open to that suggestion. But it's going to be an interesting couple of days with tomorrow morning, Black Monday, as it's known around the arc. 2nd and 10, Brosmer over the middle, and that is incomplete. Looking for Ben Sims, and it's going to be 3rd and 10 for the Vikings. It's just a moment for a guy like 76 wins. What a run it's been for him as they start to think about their postseason opponent next week. Out of the backfield, Chandler, and they're going to lose. They did play Philly, that defensive match. They lost 10-7 middle part of the season. So you have familiarity.
Once. The second one you lost, but remember, Jordan Love didn't play for the majority of that football game. And I just like this offense and their ability against Chicago's defense. And let's face it, there's a psychological hurdle with it.
Yeah, Myles Garrett capping off just an unbelievable season.
I didn't see it. Was it a gentleman's agreement sack or was it a legitimate sack?
No, I think it was legit. Maybe jury out, but that thing counts. And last time Green Bay was held to negative passing yards in a game, you have to go back to 1976 as they trying to get that win, climbing the charts currently in that 3 spot in the AFC. As everything starts to come into focus in the playoff pictures, both AFC and NFC. There's Chris Brooks on the take. So Clayton Tune, 4 of 8, 22 yards. Warren Palmer, Shane Hibbs, our technical director, Griffin Jacob, our incredible audio guy, come off the field, Arch. And again, this is what everyone is wondering here in Minneapolis. There's his family up in their luxury box in US Bank Stadium, wondering if this is the end, the final time that they see him. As 6 Pro Bowls, 2 All-Pros. And people asking, is he a Hall of Famer? They certainly feel like he is in this city, as Matthew Golden makes the catch.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt about that. I mean, just to share all his snaps here for one team in one stadium, that's really a special career.
Good looking run here by Brooks. He played for Mike Zimmer, the defensive coordinator here, but eventually the head coach. But you talk about a perfect marriage on the back.
Harrison Smith has really been kind of like a coach on the field, and a lot of times he's actually calling the defense as the offense is setting up, so they're able to get into the perfect defense, and it's worked really well in that format this season.
It's the great Chuck Denton There's Chuck down on the field. Our graphics operators in the truck, Gene Martin, Ben Nelson. All the talented men and women that bring you all the pictures, the numbers on the screen. So many talented production people traveling with us all week. Our replay operators, Will Blakely, John Sauer, Linda Newberger, Mark Polkdoff. And on as we are down to the 2-minute warning. Users, time permitting, all the latest NFL scores and highlights. Final 2 minutes from downtown Minneapolis. Pitch play here to Wilson, trying to find the edge. And he's going to have himself with his teammates and coaches all continuously coming over to pay their respects. And you just love to see a guy, he's glad he won. Certainly well-deserved moment. What a great Viking he has been here for so many years. Josh Wiley on the catch and brought down at the 20.